myself Dr. Kiran Bala, and currently I'm working with IIT Indore in the Department of Biosciences and Biomedical Engineering as Associate Professor. So this is a faculty position, and I joined IIT in 2012 as a DST Inspire Faculty Fellow. So initially, for a few years, it was tough to manage, but finally in 2017, I got this regular faculty positions. So about my education, if I talk about that, I did my routine BSc that time, BSc in biology, and then with some of my friends, we were having this interest in environmental science. So we actually, a group of friends, we thought to choose post-graduation in environmental science. So with discussion with friends, discussing some of the environmental issues that they should be done, there is this issue, so like water pollution and these things. So these took me in that direction of post-graduation in environmental science, where I studied all these subjects of environmental chemistry, biology in detail, and then I chose to do a doctorate in environmental science and engineering, continuing in the same field. Then I selected a specific topic for my PhD, for wastewater treatment using algae, because algae, sometimes students or people around me, they feel like, what is algae and how you are going to use that algae in wastewater treatment. And before that, if I talk about my initial years, I have one younger sister and one younger brother. So luckily, I am the eldest one, and my father actually, after my 10th, because percentage luckily was good, so he took me, he motivated me to take PCB, physics, chemistry and biology in 11th standard. And that time, that was I had to go to college. So just started my college life with PCB in 11th standard. So so many things together, because I did my 10th standard in Hindi language, and then suddenly switched to English language with PCB in college. That was first, it took some months to get adjusted to that environment, and my parents actually helped me a lot during that time, because I'm from a middle class family. My father he got retired from government job, so he was working with the BSNL. But they managed to pay all my tuition fees. They for physics, chemistry, biology, all the three subjects, they arranged tuitions. But we were staying very far off, from the city, in the outskirts of the city. So all the time, I remember those days, starting 6 a.m. in the morning for my tuitions, and then directly going to college, coming before coming back to home, again one coaching. So a whole day, now also it is some students, they are following this routine, but that time we were not having mates. So after coming back to home, because additionally, my mom was a school principal. She was running, she was having a small school. So all the time she was busy in that school, morning 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. she was in the school. So, and a very kind-hearted lady. So what she was doing that, when I come back from college in 11th standard also, there are so many small students who were there for taking coaching from me free of cost, kind of. So she was all the time saying that they are from poor family. If you can teach them, like nursery KG standard student, so if I can give some time to them, and 4 to 6 p.m. like that, and after that, dinner is the responsibility of Kiran. Like like this whole day actually I was busy, and then managing English, Hindi to English version for PCB, and so somehow I was not able to crack MBBS, and no, I'm not a doctor at the moment. So because my father actually wanted me to be a doctor, because he feel that this is the safest career option for girls, that they can, as a profession, they can manage this profession along with their family life easily. So that work-life balance will be better if she is a doctor. So this is how, till 12th, things went on. And then I was not able to crack this. I decided to do BSc in biology in the same college. That time, I'm not that brave girl or lady, you can say, that I can take my own decisions. So, but I luckily found two of my friends during 12th standard. So, so we three decided to go for this BSc biology. And after 11th standard, my father never came to my college. He said that now you are on your own. You choose what do you want to be and how you are going to do that. Right. So, but he facilitated me with those coaching classes. He paid lots of money. Lots means at that time, that was really lots of money. So he managed everything, and they both were working. So at even that time, I tried to manage household things like dinner, and then washing dishes after dinner, then many things, and then helping my home on weekends. So weekends were like that. We have to wash all the clothes on one day. So these are the small things, like even on Sunday I'm not able to give 4-5 hours of sitting for my own these studies. That was the struggle I sometimes feel, but still, with their support I reached BSc. Then and even during BSc I sometimes heard my grandfather was saying, no need to send her for studies, let us search some boy for her, because now she is 20, like that. During my MSc also, I heard the same thing from other relatives, because I'm the first one who studied till doctorate. I'm from Haryana. You people will be amazed to know that because some of the conferences if I visited, people when they get to know that I'm from Haryana, sometimes people told me that, oh my God, you are from Haryana and you actually managed to do this education, because I don't know, because Haryana is a rich state, and higher education at that time. Now things have changed, because I did my even PhD in 2007. So it is approximately 15 years thing. So 20 to 25 years back, students or many people were not opting for higher education. So in Haryana, in my relatives, my cousins, no one actually studied above more than MSc, BSc even. So it started from my BSc itself, that let us search some boy for her. But my father always said, no, let us, if she is studying, because luckily I was getting percentage in even my MSc Environmental Sciences, I was gold medalist. So positive things were coming in the path. So my parents actually, they were also motivating me. And last thing, when I told that I want to do PhD, that time he asked how many years it will take. I said minimum 4 years, like 4 years I am expecting. So he said, no, we cannot wait for 4 years. 4 years is a long time. So I said that time that you start searching a boy. In the meantime, let me try for PhD. So first year went on, second year, like that. And in 3.5 years, I completed. I submitted my thesis. So luckily, that time I managed, or you can say that God managed for me. And I was having another dream that I want to travel abroad. Before my marriage, that was the thing I've always thought that I don't want to go to abroad with my husband for the very first time. I want to go alone, like independently. So I got selected after PhD. I joined, and another lucky thing that I, even in 1 month of my defense, I got placed in TERI, the Energy and Resources Institute in New Delhi. So that was a regular position. And that time my father said, no, out of Hisar, we can't send you. Whatever you want to do in Hisar, it's a small city. We can at least support you. Then I showed offer letter to him, and then convinced him that they are offering a good salary, and that was small amount, only 30,000 per month, but 30,000 in 2007 was a good amount for me, at least. So and most of the relatives, actually, they stay in Delhi. So I convinced them that please let me go there. Our relatives are there. So every weekend, it's a 5-day job. On Saturday, Sunday, I can go and meet wherever you want. Like I can stay there if you say. So I joined TERI in November 2007, not 2017, it's 2007. So November 2007, I joined TERI, and in 2-3 months, I got selected for this Netherlands fellowship program at Delft. It's an Institute for Water Education, IHE. So that was another point of discussion in my home, that no, not possible. You can't go. But they finally searched a boy for me. So I was supposed to travel in April 2008, 28th April 2008. And in March, we were having engagement ceremony for me. So sometimes I remember those points, that when for the very first time my husband and his family came to our home, he asked few questions to me. Can you drive? I said yes. I usually go to my college in car. My father actually helped me, because my parents always said, whatever fellowship you are getting, you just collect that money, and in whatever way you want to spend. So I learned how to drive a car, and then purchased second-hand car for me, and then managed with that. So he was surprised, because I'm from Agrawal family from Haryana. So these questions actually in 2008. People expect this. So second question, he said that I usually travel to Paris. Do you have passport? So passport, I said, no, I have passport, and even, I'm traveling to Netherlands in April. So he said, what? I said, yes, I'm thinking to, I got selected for this fellowship and I'm planning to go to Delft in April. So he was so shy with his parents that he didn't inform them that on 27th night, I have flight to Netherlands. And they fixed our marriage on 22nd April. Same year, right? So we got married on 22nd April. Then he informed them that she has to travel to Delft, Netherlands. So they actually, my in-laws family, they are also very supportive and very educated family. My father-in-law, they are 5 brothers and 4 sisters, so big family. But all are if we count, at that time, one in PSU, then one in this thermal power plant, Panipat. He's executive engineer there. Then 2 in bank. Then one Bua, his sister is doctor. Everyone, all 9 brothers and sisters, they are well placed in government jobs, and their wives also. It is not that they only. They're my husband's aunt, all the aunts, they are working as government employees. So that's how they agreed that okay, she can go on this trip. So that was another dream came true, that I want to travel alone to some countries out of India. And then actually, at the time of marriage, he was in Bombay. But at the time of engagement, he was in Bombay. So I thought that Terry has office in Bombay and, I'll try for transfer. But at the time of marriage, he got transferred to Chennai. And in Chennai, I was not able to see options where I'm going to move. So that was the biggest challenge. For a few months, we lived, I was in hostel in Delhi and he was in Chennai for few months. Few months means 10 to 11 months I was like this. Because he wanted to come back to NCR, because this is the place where all the relatives, all the people around us, they are there. But then finally, family decided for me that I have to leave the job. And I was not feeling good. But maybe, I always feel that God is with me and something better is going to happen. That is why I have to take this decision. So simultaneously, I was applying here and there. So I applied for Dr. D.S. Kothari postdoctoral fellowship at that time, and I got that. So I got selected for that fellowship I left this job at Terry. So that time, offer from Terry was so I was getting a handsome amount, and I was not feeling good that I'm leaving this job. But still, sometimes we have to compromise with the situation. So I joined Anna University at Chennai with this Dr. D.S. Kothari postdoctoral fellowship in 2000 and it was the year 9. And then we started staying together in Chennai. And in 2010, my elder daughter was born. So 9 to 11, I was struggling so hard. Like 2 years, my mentor, actually, we discussed many times I said that, sir, I'm not able to continue. Let me resign from this. So that was 3 years thing. But in 2 years, because I have two daughters. One born in 2010, 2010, and another born in 2011. So just 1 year, 2 months gap. So managing two small babies alone at home, and that time, full-time maid, and these things were not in that trend, or it was not easy to convince family. So but in 2011, I resigned from that fellowship. But I said that my daughters are so lucky for me that in another 4 months, I got DBT Women Scientist. So that was a big project with the 50 lakhs amount. I got that project, and but in the meantime, my husband actually thought to resign from that job, and he wanted to move to Indore. So I got that, and he resigned from the job. So I wrote to DBT many times that I want to take transfer to Indore. DAVV University is here, Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, Indore. So I wanted to take transfer from Anna University to DAVV if it is possible. So finally, I got that agreement, and I joined DAVV Indore in 2012. July 2012, I joined here as DBT Women Scientist. So in 2 months, one of my friends, she is in DRDO Delhi. She is scientist there. So one day she called me up and said, I saw one advertisement. This is saying like DST Inspire faculty positions. So she said that today is the last day, and if you want, you can apply for that. And you people won't imagine, like I was just eligible. Like if I miss that call, because the upper age limit for that is 32 years, and last 1 or 2 days of that call. So I suddenly applied, like submitted my online application and got selected. So then I joined IIT Indore. In November 2012, I joined IIT Indore as Inspire Faculty Fellow. So for a few years, then with small kids, like 1 or 2 years, because the elder one was 2 years that time, and the younger one was 1 year only. And then joining IIT means I have to perform a lot. So for a few years, like even, I always feel that I'm lucky or be like focused on my career. I never got demotivated. So these were the things I feel positive about me, or about the success path I followed, right? And initially, as Agarwal family got married, and so my husband was also like, he never stopped me for applying anywhere, but he never, did anything for me also. He never cooked at that time. He never came with me for any interview position. So, sometimes, when I was was appearing for this NET or JRF exams when I was doing my MSc. That time I observed that some of the girls, they are coming with their husband. So I imagine that my husband will come with me whenever I'm going out for interview or for some test. But he said, now he says that you never said that you want me to go with you. I say that no, I expected this from you, that you should say this. Shall I come with you? So, but he is so simple that he says, after 14 years of marriage, now he says, you just tell me, what shall I do? so, so things, changes. What we want, if we are focused, we are determined, definitely our surroundings, they are going to support us. My husband now, he cooks. Whenever I start from campus, I start from office, he usually prepares tea for me, like that. So this is the kind of understanding now we have, but it takes time. Sometimes, some of my friends, I talk to them, they have left their career. After marriage, I have observed that girl students, they are not able to manage their married life and their struggle for career. If this happened to some of my friends also, and this is because we are coming from one family where this is a complete different setting, and going to a different city, different setting. So there are differences in thoughts. So we have to manage that, and it takes time also that people understand us. Now, my husband, my in-laws, they actually they another thing. Let me tell you, my husband, when we got married in 2008, and my father found him in 2007. That time he rejected our proposal, saying that he doesn't want to marry a girl who is doing PhD, because he was thinking that students who are not able to get job after their undergraduation, UG or PG, they actually go for PhD. That was the thought he was having with him. That is why he didn't want to marry a PhD girl. But 2008, we got married, and after that, you won't imagine now the next, because he is the single son. Then the next uncle he has. So his son, he has wife from PhD from IIT Bombay, and the third one, he has wife from having PhD from what is that IMTech Chandigarh. So now it is a trend for them. So people, they actually don't know about us. Even as girls or as female, we don't understand our strengths, what we have inside us. We actually raise our dreams. We try to modify ourselves as per our surroundings, right? That is good. We should be flexible with the surroundings, but follow your own dreams also, right? So that is important, because after 15 or 20 years, when we will having ample time, our kids will go abroad or join some job, so we will be alone that time. So that time we will feel that we should have done this, right? So don't forget your own dreams. That is, I personally feel. And this, even I have PhD students in my group. So now I have 12 PhD students, and most of them are girl students. And some of my male PhD students, they say that ma'am is feminist. She's not saying anything to girl students, but it is not the case. But I personally feel that we have this power. We can manage many things. Multitasking we can do. Like, so be a superwoman. I have seen this thing in my mother and then my PhD supervisor. Two ladies in my life, they have turned me like into this. So I also want to be my PhD supervisor. I have never seen that lady shouting at students. She's so calm and so impressive. So I want to be like her only. So that personality, it's amazing. But um, superwoman, sometimes people say that she is a superwoman, but it's okay if we are not a superwoman, but still you follow what do you want to be. If you want that you are lying on sofa and want to watch a movie, that's fine, you can go ahead with that. So my younger sister, she always said this: I don't want to be professor or scientist. I don't want to be PhD, or I don't want to go for higher studies. She is still, she has done post graduation in English, and she is a government school teacher at Gurgaon. So sometimes I felt that I struggled a lot, and then I got this position. I discussed this point with my husband, and she always said she loves cooking, she loves watching TV, like relaxed life, no 6 a.m. coaching classes, then coming back, no struggle. What I feel that I've done, everyone feels that I have done struggle. But if you want to, like, you choose that what you want to be. If you want to watch TV lying on the sofa, that is fine. You can choose that, right? But evaluation is important, and then awareness is also important. Now government of India has so many opportunities for female students. Like, we have DST, Women Scientist Scheme, then DBT, this what was that, BioCare scheme for female students. So many things are there. You have to be just, you should get awareness. Now DST Power, POWER Power scheme is there for female candidates. So awareness is very important. Read a lot. Reading is important. Read newspapers, read magazines, keep yourself updated. If you are updated, then you can select between the options. What do you want to be? So that is what I can suggest to young girls, because it is not that easy for male students also. We feel that things are tough for us. It is, but you can modify it with hard work, your dedication. That is what I can feel for myself, that coming from a middle class family, from Haryana, from Agrawal family, then reaching to this level. And then, things, I recently got that INSA membership for 5 years in 2022 itself. And then after that, I got MP Shiro's award in 22 only. And then I usually travel to US, Europe with fully funded fellowship programs. And then I have DAD projects. So, if you're trying, sometimes, I suggest to my students to just apply for this. They say, no, ma'am, it is too competitive. We don't feel that we get selected. I usually suggest them, you apply for 10, 2 will come positive. If you apply for 2 and then you want that there should be one for you, it's sometimes, nowadays it is too much competitive. So my students actually, they are like, I make sure that everyone has some collaboration, has traveled to some country, to some university abroad during their PhD tenure. They get this exposure fully funded. So recently my student got this in Indore, UK, Newton Baba fellowship. So, and like that I try, and that is female student. So it is good for them, but you should be aware about things. Now, like now for students, we have PMRF fellowship program, like giving 70,000 per month during PhD. I suggest them that you are enjoying science, doing experiments, and government is paying you. So, you are getting salary for the work you are enjoying doing. Right. So that is the thing. That is how you can follow. My PhD supervisor, my mother, my father, like my parents, I always, like now also, I find them inspiring to me. Even you won't imagine, I'm constructing house and my mother is here to, handle the situation. So at the age of 60, she is able to manage, she can monitor. It's given to some contractor, but most of the time we have to go there, see the management, see the designing part. So many things we have to see now, but she is able to manage things. So my mother I see, and not only these 3 people, my mother, father, and supervisor, I usually get inspired people around me. It is not just 3 specific people. I think I see only positive things in the people around me. What are the strengths? Even from my PhD students, even from my MSc students, like how someone is doing experiments till 2 a.m. and then coming back to lab. So you don't consider this as a torture. I never say them you have to come to lab in the 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. time, but I observe them till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. They were in the lab, and then in the morning, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., they are again in the lab. So they are so dedicated. So it is not some specific people. Definitely, they were the early inspires for me, from where I got the positive energy, positive inputs in my career, in my education. But now also, like in day-to-day life, I get inspiration from people around me. I usually see positive things, like how I can get positive points from them. So my personal milestone, I should say that getting government job. Because just after PhD, within 1 month. Otherwise, I could have, like my parents or my relatives, they have forced me to marry early. So that was the major thing happened in my life, that within 1 or 2 months, I got a very good job with handsome amount in Delhi itself, not Bombay, or they should, like in South, I can't imagine they have agreed for this, but it was in Delhi. So, and that was the thing. And I feel lucky, or that my husband, actually, he wanted to marry a educated girl, not from a business family or with some like not a very beautiful girl, because my strength I feel is education and my like not my beauty. so so he was not of that like he was of the opinion that he should marry a educated girl or career oriented girl. So that was the another positive thing which was there in if I talk about personal life. Professionally, i'm I'm really I'm 100% satisfied with my career journey. Even at IIT, like that time when I joined, Professor Pradeep Mathur was there as director. So he was our founding director. So I most of the time I get inspiration from him also. That I never saw a person who was so supportive for research part. You know, whenever I met him, he was talking about some research that like you should do, like you can do in that direction. Let us bring that technology to the ground level and like that. So, so professionally also, so many awards, not so many, but I got Dr. D.S. Kothari Postdoctoral Fellowship Award, then DBT Women Scientist Award, then DST Inspire Faculty Fellow Award. And whenever I applied for international travel support from DST, I luckily I got that. Then I got Netherlands Fellowship Program twice in 2008, and then I applied in 2012. Again, I got that to visit Indonesia, and like that. So I visited Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, USA, with for some training. Like that, you know. So sometimes, you know, one of my best friend, she is in DRDO. You know, I usually discuss many things with her. So she usually say that you apply, you will get it. So you have to just apply. So professionally, and many DST, many project grants from DST, DBT, Ministry of Earth Sciences. So project funding. Even last year, we got 100 crores. Like it's a TIH. So I am member in that. So we got that grant also, and we have new director, Professor Suhas Joshi at IIT Indore. He joined in February, and in March I got women's cell convener like thing. So you know, things are coming itself. No, I'm satisfied with my professional and personal path. It is not that, you know, always there will be things served in plate. No, you don't. Anyone, no one should expect this, that there will be a plate in which you can pick what do you want to eat, right? You have to struggle for things, and when you are struggling, when you want to get anything, then definitely there will be some negatives or some failures will happen. So I I'm saying I again and again, but personally, I feel that demotivation is the biggest failure in life. Don't get demotivated. Apply again and again and again. I did my PhD in 2007 and got regular faculty position in 2017, 10 years. So that time, many times I was sitting alone and thinking that I'll not succeed in my career. So it happens. You just apply. Sometimes you will feel that you are failed, but that not be the case. Correct. So failures and success, you don't know. I left Delhi that time. I was thinking that now nothing will happen to my career. Then from Chennai, I moved to Indore with two little girls. That time I was feeling that I'll not get success or nothing will happen to my career, that I'll not be able to manage a good position in some university or some good industry. But you never know, actually. You don't know what is good in your life, right? What is coming up. In addition to hard work, dedication, I feel that sharing is very important. Because for girls, after marriage, there is a new life, new world, right? So if you are sharing your thoughts, your plans, your dreams with, at least with your husband and your mother-in-law, father-in-law, at least they can, they can support you, they can understand you, right? So they are there with you. Everyone has to feel this. They are not against you. So don't consider situation in a negative sense. Be positive. Whatever is happening, you just share what you are feeling. So sharing is very important in addition to dedication, and that is the key to success. If you are not that dedicated about your career or about your success, definitely some other person, how can he or she will apply for you, can go for interview with you, if you are not that sincere or dedicated. That is important. But if you want to do anything, just share with for people around you. I did that with my parents, that I want to do this. Then with my husband, that I want to apply for this, I want to go there, I want to travel. Let me go to Nagpur Neri for appearing in the interview. So like that, sharing is very important. Don't keep your dreams within you only. So as female or as women candidate, before joining IIT, I was all the time applying for interviews, and I said few minutes back that I'm not that brave. So I was having that hesitation that I can't travel alone. So once I got interview letter for scientist position at NIRI Nagpur, and from Indore we were not having direct flight. I had to go to Nagpur via train. So my husband said that I'm busy, I can't come. So I didn't went there. So these are the small things. I left so many interviews like that. I can't travel alone. So that was the inner hesitation, that I I felt I can't travel means I can't travel alone. Someone I wanted with me. Now things have changed. Definitely, slowly, we get this much stronger. But at IIT, or you can say that as CFTI, centrally funded higher education institute, IIT is so much supportive for female candidates. Even now, I am convener of women's cell also. So at this point, we are doing so many awareness program. And recently on this Women Day, our director said in his address that we have to hire more faculty, more employees, because if you heard that, you hear that I'm the only female faculty in the whole BSB department at this time. Like, we are 11 faculty members and I'm the only female faculty. So, but never I felt that there is discrimination or something, people, they are talking about us. So in that sense, IIT Indore is so safe. very supportive, because I am saying that dedication will help you in achieving your success, but there is definitely the role of male people around you. It is their support. Even now, my colleagues, they tell me that apply for power program. It is a new scheme, DST power scheme. It is for female candidates. Why don't you apply for this? So their support is always needed. Sometimes, I drop to my kids to this daycare facility. So sometimes I get late. As such, at IIT, we don't have this timing system, and it is quite flexible. Still, they really support us. So support of people, like males around us, is very important, and that is the environment I've seen at IIT. So I should tell some of the work I've done after joining IIT Indore, because that is where I've spent a lot of time. I was a part of a team for Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. So where we had adopted villages for their like helping them in water facilities. Even our team only, they help them, like that time, that like getting toilets to each home, like that. So Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, I got a chance to meet village peoples. We talked to sarpanch, and then we met school girls, school boys, small schools like government schools. We visited many government schools in a village we adopted. In that, we did some lectures also. Even our students, they managed to give them a small computer room where they can try doing some computer hands-on training, like that. And after that, along with that, I was the convener of this technical education improvement quality program, TechWhip, you can say. So TechWhip, I was there for 2 years as convener. So that program is dedicated to improve technical education in different colleges. So in that also, we did so many training programs. We arranged visit of state colleges or small colleges, some small government colleges. They can visit IIT campus, our facilities. They can get trainings and then go back and do some research or experiments. They can collaborate with us, like their teachers can collaborate with faculty at IIT. That those things actually we tried. We did even faculty induction program. We invited faculty members even in hundreds. So we invited a few hundreds of faculty from the state government colleges, and then did the induction program for them, that how this education quality can be improved further. So, and if I talk about my research, that is, directly related to society. So I work on wastewater treatment and clean energy production. So we are using algae. Like, let me talk about my research a little bit for 2 minutes. So algae, if you, for a common man, it is the green color sticky material which we can see on our walls or in a river floating on the top, that kai, you can say. So that algae we utilize for wastewater treatment, even sewage. Then we are trying to produce biodiesel from that. And even, plastic can also be produced from that. So that is what we are trying, a multi, application we are trying in lab, which can be, help to society in many ways. If we are cleaning our environment, if we are taking care of our environment, so it will be a help to society. That is my personal feeling. So sustainability, if I talk, because I'm environmentalist, so I got married on 22nd April, which is Earth Day. You know that. So it is not that getting married on 16th September, Ozone Day or Earth Day means you are doing something sustainable. But I chose this career of environmental remediation, So in my lab, we are trying to develop different technologies for bringing the sustainability, because, resource use, resources recovery, that is important to bring the sustainability. And if I talk about my personal life, like the work-life balance is also a sustainable thing. So work, professional and personal balance, life balance is important. That is also a sustainable approach. So that is what I wanted to say. So means a suggestion to a young girl.
To a young Kiran.
Correct. So some points, even when I look back to my journey or to my life when I was doing 11th or 12th or at that time, sometimes I have compromised the situation. I could have cracked. Today I feel that I could have cracked, and I MBBS or what, maybe AIMS or somewhere I could have cracked that. I personally feel at the moment. So to a young girl or to young me, I want to now. I usually say this to me, that don't compromise too much. Explain things, tell to yourself, do you want to this? I usually tell this to me, this or nothing. What do you want? This much or nothing? So don't compromise. Something will come to you, right? So just because I see myself that sometimes I have compromised for many things. Support was there, still, I was not that brave, or, something negative was there inside me. So I feel, I say that, and awareness is important. Sometimes we just talk to our friends, to people around us. So we need to be updated ourselves. Like we need to read more. We have to, at this moment, we have to Google, like we have this internet sources. So internet surfing can help. Kind of running 24/7. I get all my energy from my daughters. And I'm really superstitious. So from God also, I get direct energy. So I usually tell this to my husband, God is watching me. His hand is there with me. But my daughters, when I play with them, when I talk to them, when I listen their small activities, now they are in 6th and 7th standard, their small issues, problems, they share things with me. This gives a lots of energy. I want to go on a world tour for 6 months. Like all, without any professional work, without any ongoing assignments, just me and my family, like my daughters and my husband. So on a 6 months break.